Okay, awesome. So Chris just put up your driver checklist in case of an accident, right? Could you please go through these and explain what it is that they should be doing in case of from a small accident to a bigger one?
Yeah, the most important thing I think is to treat every accident the same, because every accident has the ability to affect your livelihood. Um, Whether you're injured or not injured, you need to get the police out to the scene. Drivers, again, are often hesitant to do that because they don't want to slow down their night. They think if this is a fender bender, we'll just be on our way and I'll keep working. Well, the police are extremely important because they're documenting the evidence. They're they're collecting information from both the parties. They might be able to get your passenger to give their name and contact information when the passenger may be unwilling to give that to you. They're taking measurements at the scene. They're taking, sometimes they're documenting property damage. These are all factors that are going to go into the insurance claim, which is where the money is. We want the evidence so that we can show the insurance company and perhaps a jury, if it gets to that point, what happened. Um, if the accident is your fault, we do recommend obviously being polite, but you don't want to make a decision as to whose fault the accident is. You don't need to apologize. You don't need to say, my bad. Just, provide the information that the parties are requesting, whether it's the police officer asking for your insurance, the other party asking to see your driver's license. Exchange all that, but let the police officers, let the lawyers, let the insurance companies be the one to decide fault. You don't need to decide it right there. In the same vein, unless you're in an unsafe position on the road, you shouldn't move the vehicles from their resting spots after the crash. The reason I say that is because that's going to give the investigators a lot of information about how this crash occurred. Say there's two vehicles that hit, it looks like one is coming into the other person's lane. Well, the angles of the vehicles are going to help demonstrate the facts of the crash. If you move the vehicles and you both curb them, the other person can say, no, he pulled into me. And you're saying, no, he pulled into me. And then it's a he said, she said situation that's going to be really difficult to prove. Insurance information is obviously important. That's the basis of the claim. I recommend taking pictures again as evidence so that we can show property damage, markings on the roads, the positions of the vehicles. This is all extremely important. And in addition to pictures, which is not on this list, we've got to have dash cam footage. If you don't have a dash camera, you are shooting yourself in the foot when it comes to property damage claims, injury claims, what Larry's going to talk about later in terms of maybe false accusations or deactivations. This is all invaluable evidence. It's a cost of doing business. Spend the $100 and put something like that in your car. In the same regard, we need to talk about injuries. If people are hurt, make sure that you call an ambulance, get the medical treatment that you need. You want to start documenting the facts of your injury, the pains you're feeling, how they're progressing, when they started. All that goes into the medical records and is then evidence in your injury claim. So the sooner you can get in to see a doctor, the easier it's going to be for me to claim and prove that the accident caused your injury, because we see accident happen, we see medical treatment happen, and it all starts from there. The last thing I'll just say on this is many drivers are afraid to go get treatment because they're scared of the medical bills. They're trying to be heroes and saying, you know what, I'll just shake it off and I'll be fine. That's the absolute worst thing that you can do. You don't need to necessarily go to the emergency room where you're going to get $1,000 of bills, but you should at very least see a primary care doctor or go to an urgent care. So we're starting the process. If you feel better a day later and you don't need any more care, well then, okay, you've got that $100 bill that you've got to figure out how to pay, but you've protected yourself. If God forbid things get worse, well then we have closed that gap in treatment. There is no gap in treatment. I can then take your medical records and say, look when all this started. It started right after the crash, and look where we are now, 6 months, year, however long you've got to be treating thereafter.
Right. Great info. I know you don't have too much time, but what I would like for you to touch upon is that, you mentioned the dash cam, right? I mean, unfortunately, a majority of drivers do not have a dash cam. And as you said, it's an amazing investment. I mean, it'll pay for itself. Like Larry's going to talk about, the activations as such, but, and in the case of an accident, I mean, what better way?
All right, thanks for watching. That short little clip was from our live stream, Show Me the Money Club with Sergio and myself, Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you subscribe, turn on all notifications so you'll be notified when we go live, as well as all of our awesome content. Make sure to check out this video right here, which will take you to the entire live stream, or check out this video right there. All right, drive smart, everyone.